Lesson 10. Truthfulness of action. To perform an action with excellence solely for the sake of one's Lord. The previous chapter dealt with truthfulness in speech and its importance in the life of the Muslim. When Muslims are truthful in speech, the effect of this will continue to manifest itself on the remainder of their limbs and in all of their interactions until they become truthful in action. Thus, they will rise in rank until they are truthful in action and intention, till they reach the ranks of the people of immense truthfulness. The authenticated hadith of the Prophet ﷺ testifies to this. A man will continue to be truthful and strive to be so until he is recorded by Allah as being someone of immense truthfulness. Thus, truthfulness of action is a product of truthfulness of speech. Truthfulness of action means to perform an action with excellence solely for the sake of one's Lord, and to be completely focused on it while performing it, expending upon it all of one's effort. Let us look at truthfulness in fasting and prayer. If someone fasting looks at something impermissible, looks with desire, or looks at a Muslim with contempt, then they have not been truthful in their fasting. Likewise, they must guard their tongue, or else they will be among those that the Chosen One ﷺ mentioned in his saying, "Whoever does not refrain from lying and acting upon it, then Allah has no need for him to refrain from eating or drinking." For someone to be truthful in their prayer, they must first perfect their ablution. If they are in a state of minor ritual impurity, they perform the ablution properly, making sure that not a spot on any part of their face remains that water fails to reach. They are sure to make water reach the spots that are difficult to reach and generally neglected. Also, they are sure not to leave any spots unwashed from the fingertips to the elbows, and if there is any dirt under their fingernails, they remove it. They are careful to completely wash their feet. Once on an expedition, the Prophet ﷺ saw that water had not reached one of the companions' heels while he was performing his ablution, and he called out in a loud voice, "Woe to the heels from the fire!" After perfecting their ablution, they must perform the prayer in its prescribed time. They are keen to perform its recommended elements, to observe its etiquettes, and to pray in congregation. They force themselves to have presence of mind from the beginning of the prayer to the end. They prepare for their entry into the prayer so that when they say, "Allah is most great," they are absolutely certain that there is nothing great except Allah. In witnessing the greatness of the Most High, the Magnificent, before whom they are standing, they forget every small and insignificant thing. When they say, "I turn myself to He who created the heavens and the earth, a pure monotheist, in submission, and I am not of those who associate others with Him," they do so while truly turning with their hearts to Allah, so that they are not untruthful when they say this. They then continue to be truthful throughout their prayer. When they bow, they do so with excellence, remaining still, and when they arise, they stand up straight and remain still. When they prostrate, they do so with excellence, putting the 7 body parts on the ground in accordance with the Prophet ﷺ said, "I was commanded to prostrate on 7 bones." However, their hearts should precede their limbs when prostrating to Allah Most High and lowering themselves before His Majesty. They should continue to pray, not allowing themselves to be distracted. For to allow oneself to be distracted is to allow the devil to steal from one's prayer. There is a narration that states, "When a man stands to pray, Allah turns toward him with His countenance. If he, the man, then turns away, He, Allah, says to him, 'O son of Adam, to whom are you turning? To someone better than me? Face me.' If he turns away a second time, Allah says the same thing, but if he turns away a third time, Allah turns His countenance away from him." Above all, the slave of Allah should be humble to Him in his prayer. Allah says, "Successful indeed are the believers who are humble in their prayers." This is an example of truthfulness in prayer. Truthfulness should accompany all of your actions, whether you be buying and selling, giving and taking, or interacting with your family. Being truthful in them is to perform them excellently and properly, acting sincerely for the sake of Allah Most High. May Allah bless us with truthfulness in our speech, actions, and intentions, until He makes us amongst the people of immense truthfulness. May Allah bestow His blessings upon our Master Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and upon his family and companions, and all those that follow them in excellence until the day of recompense. All praise be to Allah, Lord of the worlds.